for another Farming Simulator 19 modding tutorial. In this tutorial here, we're going to show you how to set up lights here in Giants Editor. This also is going to require Blender or another similar type program, by the way. In my case, I'm going to be using Blender. So what we have here is a mod we're working on, and we have some front light reflectors. The lights we're talking about here, by the way, are not going to be actual light sources. They're not actually going to create light. This is just the visual. When you turn the lights on, it looks like the lights turn on. That is what these lights are all about here. So we got the front light reflectors here, and I have this all set up here already. So these front light reflectors are already set up. They got the gloss map on them, they got the normal map, and they got a vehicle shader. If you are creating a light reflector, under the vehicle shader here, the variation, you want to set it to static light. However, if it's not set up properly, you're going to get this error message. The current selected shape does not provide the following vertex attributes required by the current material color. Some error messages doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? So anyway, we're going to show you how to fix that here. So we're just going to set this back to none here for now. And obviously, these are supposed to be back in behind these lights, by the way. I just got them pulled out so we can see them. We're going to go to File, Export. We are going to export that as an OBJ. We'll just export that as a, sure, light, doesn't matter what you name it. We're going to open up Blender. I'm going to assume here again, you're going to have a basic understanding of Blender and Giants Editor. So we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to go File, Import. We're going to import OBJ file, case 9380. We're going to import the light. And there are our lights here. Now this is actually, I would say, relatively simple. All we're going to do here is we're going to go down to, actually, let's click on these here first. We're going to go to Vertex Paint. So Vertex Paint. Here you can select whatever color you want to select. I always like just a little bit of yellow in it. That's what I usually do. Something about like that. And then you got this here. You can adjust the radius too if you want. We'll just bump that up. Why not? Sure, 70. Pretty sure you can click on that too. There we go. Oh, okay, that might be a little bit. Well, doesn't really matter. Good enough. And we're just going to Vertex Paint all these. So just kind of wiggle the mouse around on it. Make sure we get it all. Sometimes go a couple different angles here. Looks like we got it all. Looking pretty good. You could, if we wanted to go something a little more crazy. Sure. How about crazy? That'd be crazy, right? Do that. And it's obviously a little more obvious if you got everything or not, right? So yes, there you go. Like I said, I usually do just a little bit of light yellow into it there. That way, for two reasons. One, you can actually see if you're actually doing it or not. Otherwise, it is kind of white. It's kind of hard to tell, right? And then gives it just a little bit of yellow tint, too. Okay, we're done there. Object mode, File. We're going to go back to Export, Giants Eye 3D. And back to the folder here. We're going to call that New Lights. We'll export that as i3D. Go back to Giants Editor here. File, import our new light reflectors. And yes, we got a light and a camera with that. Let's just, we'll delete that camera out there. Okay, front light reflectors. Now, if we set these up, actually, so let me get rid of these old ones here, just so those are not in the way. We don't get confused by them. We're going to add our gloss map, which is our dirt and wear texture. Let's see what's our shared. We'll just do the default normal. That'll be fine. That's no dirt, no wear, by the way, if you do that texture. Default normal. Or, yeah, default specular and default normal. Then let's load up the vehicle shader here. So shaders, vehicle shader. And now if we go to static light. Now, everyone, we did not get that error message. It did not give us any error message, did it? And also, if we go down to light control here, we should be able to turn these lights on. Let's see if we just crank it up to 100. And notice that one, because we had it set to green, it's got a greenish tint to it. And if we probably lessen it down a little bit, maybe it'll be a little more obvious. Well, maybe not quite. You can see, because we got the green tint, it's got a green tint to it. So whatever tint you Vertex paint your lights, that's the tint you're going to end up with. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, there you go, Evan. That is how you do lights. One more thing I'm going to show you here real quick. We're going to save this. This doesn't have so much to do with the lights as it does making sure you have your file references correct when you're all said and done with this. Go back to here. You're going to open up, let's see, and so this was the example I was using here. So example i3D. Open up your i3D, edit with Notepad++. make sure now that we loaded our vehicle shader and stuff like that, everyone, you correct your links. I don't know what's taking this so long to load. Normally it opens right up. Okay, so there we go. We are going to correct the links here. So just do a $ data. And if you recall, everyone, these are the, we added the vehicle shader, the default normal, and then the default specular. I still don't know why Giants Editor doesn't get these links right in the first place, but it doesn't. So make sure you correct that, save it. Otherwise, when you go to open this up in Farming Simulator to go to check your mod, it's not going to work because nothing's going to show up because the links aren't right. So there you go, everyone. That is how you do lights here in Farming Simulator 19 using Blender. If you have any comments or questions about this, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.